Williams. I'm from New Zealand, and I'm representing ASIM, the member of the Board of Examiners, DMU Asia, and have been here for a week delivering lectures to students doing the DMU Asia. My story goes back to 2004 when I came up as a full-time lecturer and was part of the inception of Vision May 2005. I spent about 18 months lecturing and getting to know the students in the course, and it was a very exciting time during the inauguration year. I started straight after my Bachelor of Science in Melbourne back in 1998. I qualified and went straight in and started my DMU. Did a general, and then that's when I came to Malaysia. But soon after that I did a subspeciality in vascular ultrasound, which I think just represents ultrasound in itself. It's an ongoing thing where we continue to study, and it never really stops. I think the amazing thing about ultrasound, the uniqueness, is it's very broad. It's a mixture of basically you're making a diagnosis, relying on technical and medical knowledge, and thrown in with it you've got patient care. There's a lot to it. It's a very exciting career to be in. I'm in charge of the ultrasound department at Middlemore Hospital in Auckland. It's quite a big department. It's a very big hospital, very busy hospital. We can see 300 patients a day passing through the emergency department. Mm-hmm. And we've got 6 ultrasound machines in the hospital hub and another 3 at a satellite branch, and we're fully staffed with sonographers, and it's a very busy place. Busy but mixed. What I like about my job is I'll come in and attend to initial administration tasks, followed by meetings, and I can take on a patient list, mix it with teaching students and also upskilling senior sonographers. The one and only that comes to my mind is the massive advancement in technology. Having just completed a lecture now, I was talking to the students. It's had a major role. I do volunteer work in remote third world countries, and going back to basic equipment, it becomes very challenging and difficult to try and optimize an image. And every time I do that and go back to my job in New Zealand to state of the art equipment, I just realise how far we've come. Single crystal technology and all the presets are. Nowadays you select a preset and scan. In the old days the preset was basically getting an image on the screen which you had to optimize. You had to utilize the keyboard extensively, and nowadays it's all done for you. Your machine looks after you very well, and that's been massive. I do. The thing about ultrasound is it's the key to travel. I've lived in three countries since I've been qualified, and not only that, I've been invited on surgical camps, done a lot of volunteer work. I am a member of a surgical camp in Nepal. I work there every year. I've been travelling to Nepal once a year since 2008. And we travel by helicopter to inaccessible zones, and part of a team of 20. I'm the only sonographer, and I'll perform the ultrasounds for the surgeons, who will then listen to me, believe me, and get out the knife, and they'll soon tell me if I've got it wrong. It's been the best exercise in quality assurance ever, but I have learned a lot from that. I've recently joined a group, I work with the Ministry of Pacific Health, and I travelled to remote islands in the Pacific and train doctors in emergency departments in areas of ultrasound guided venous access, PICC line insertion and fast scans. Getting it right. If I go back to my work in Nepal, it's about getting it right. That is I think the thing for any sonographer is in the back of your mind. You do have the challenges of equipment and difficult patients, but it's not missing anything. Unlike other imaging modalities, you have more chance of missing something, and it's extremely operator dependent. It's an operator dependent modality, and what you see is what you get. What you miss, unfortunately, you may find out in very tragic circumstances, so that's the hardest part about it. Oh, the willingness to keep learning and go forward. It's keeping up to date with ideas and technology. I think that applies to a lot of things nowadays, but in ultrasound it's keeping up to date with equipment and new methods of scanning and optimizing images and finding the pathology. Gee, I'd have to say absolutely not. You can learn ultrasound, but there is, it's perceptual. And it happens, fortunately, not very often. I had to sit down last year with one of our trainees and ask them if this was really for them. They really just, it wasn't. She did well in her previous career in medical imaging, but ultrasound was just not for her. She just didn't embrace it. It just wasn't coming, and that's where you sit down and have to face the honest truth. And as much as you want to learn, and she was a lovely lady and worked hard, but no, as hard as she worked, it just wasn't coming. So there is another perceptual skill that we take for granted or realise in some unusual reduced circumstances. Aim high, keep going forward and aim high so that we can raise our profile. I think it's extremely important that we raise the profile of sonographers around the world, and I think the one and only bit of advice is do not leave here qualified and just go and scan and forget about the rest. Do work in trying to advance our profile in the face of those out there and the rest of the world.